It's your girl Teddy Beauty and I'm back with another video. As you can see by the title, this is gonna be my red smoky eye makeup tutorial. Let's get started. I'm actually gonna do my eyebrows on camera, which I haven't done in a long time, but I got interrupted because I realized that my beautiful glitter picture is actually upside down, so I flipped that right side up and then I jumped right back into doing my brows. So I'm starting with the Spiked Brow Pencil by MAC, and I literally just filled them in with that product. And after I got the shape that I really liked, I just brushed out the front part of my brow a bit with a spoolie, and then I used my BH Cosmetics Flawless Brow Trio Brow Defining Kit. You guys, I've had this for like 2 years, literally, and this thing always comes in handy. If any of my brow products ever run out, I can always turn to this and my brows will be popping. I trust you. There's like $3.50. Okay? Yeah. I'm concealing my brows with my Pro Longwear concealer in the shade NC45. I always start with the arch first, then I make my way to the end of the brow. Then I pull the concealer down, and then I'll go back to the front of the brow and start concealing the front of the brow, and I'll also pull it down. When I'm done, I pull all of that concealer down onto my eyelid, and I may or may not use my concealer to base my eyelid before I start eyeshadow. It just depends how I feel. And this step is optional. I'm just like rubbing away the excess concealer. I find the warmth from my finger does a much better job than a brush, but you can use a brush if you prefer. It's really up to you guys. I am basing my eyes with my 24-hour extended eye base from MAC. You guys, you already know how I feel about this. This was in my October favorites. I friggin' love this product. I don't even need to set it. And I'm using my Morphe 35OM palette to create this look. I was having a hard time choosing the first transition shade because I knew I wanted a red smoky eye, but I didn't know how dark or light I wanted to start it. So I did end up choosing this one initially, and I was like, nah. Eventually I did come to a decision, as you'll see here, and I chose this one to start the transition, and I feel like that was a much better choice. I'm using a different type of blending brush. Usually when I start my eyeshadow looks, I start with a blending brush that's really fluffy. As you can see, this one is kind of more pointed. And the only reason I started with a pointed blending brush versus a fluffier one was honestly because my fluffy blending brushes were all dirty. So I had to make do with what I had that was clean at the time, and it was this one. So I did start off using this one. Then I found a fluffy blending brush afterwards that wasn't dirty, which was annoying, but I did work it in. I did use it afterwards, you'll see here. But I just used that to apply the first shade, and then I decided to zoom in a bit just so you guys can see this look a little better. But after applying this, as you can see, the edges look a little harsh. So you'll see me go in with the fluffy blending brush that I found after the fact here. That's from BH Cosmetics, and then I'm just gonna use that to diffuse out the harsh edges. Now pay attention to the eye that I'm working on versus the eye that I'm not working on. You'll see the difference in how the shadows look. Now I'm taking the other shade and I'm using a more denser brush. So it is still a blending brush, but it's a denser brush. So this is great to pack color on. So I'm packing this on directly in my crease because I want this shade to be fairly vibrant, because remember, the lid color is going to be pretty deep but still bright, if that makes any sense. So I wanted the middle color to blend perfectly. Once I've applied that, I'm going in with the first blending brush I used just to diffuse the two shades together properly. Taking the lid color, which is that deep, beautiful red color, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I was really skeptic at first as to how this shadow would perform without using a darker base underneath or a lighter base before applying it. I was really skeptic, but I was extremely impressed. Literally what you see here is all I did. I literally just kept on packing this red shade, just packing it on, and it came out extremely vibrant. Like, I did not need to do any additional steps besides just packing this on. Now I'm gonna take that crease brush again and just go back over the crease. I'm also dragging it out because I'm kind of creating the shape as well. I wanted this to be more kind of a cat eye look versus a rounded eyeshadow look. The only complaint I guess I have about this red shade is that as I was blending out my crease, I would lose some of the lid color, which was not really that big of a deal at all, considering that the palette was so cheap. So as you can see, I'm blending and I'm packing and I'm blending and I'm packing. I've reached my desired intensity. You'll see me here just blending out the shade just below my brow bone again, and voila, it looked damn good if you ask me. So after I did that, I just cleaned up the excess fallout. You don't have to use a wipe. I wanted to use a wipe because it's just cleaner for me, but you can also do that with your foundation. Now I'm basing my skin with my MAC Natural Radiance Primer. My skin has been going crazy. My skin has been breaking out. It's getting so dry, so I definitely needed a primer that gave me a bit more hydration and a bit more luminosity, and this is definitely it. Now I'm using my Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof Foundation and the Pro Longwear Concealer. This foundation is really, really good for this type of weather. It does give you like a nice satin finish. It can literally build up to full coverage, and it's not mattifying, but it's like a very comfortable feel on the skin, especially right now when my skin is so dry and tripping out. This foundation is definitely a saving grace, definitely. Now this time I decided to apply my concealer a little differently. I just kind of put it on with my fingers versus using a brush, and I did it for no particular reason. And this brush that I've been using, you guys, that you saw me using throughout this tutorial, I just randomly started using it and I really liked it, to be honest. It gave me a bit more coverage. I applied the products a little more intensely, and it kind of worked actually. Obviously I'm using my Saving Grace Beauty Blender to blend out the rest of the concealer. I'm feeling this new product I've been using. This is the MAC Set Powder in Invisible. It literally keeps your makeup in place, like literally. I'm in love. I didn't finish my eyes, so I'm actually going to go back into that. So I'm just taking this coffee Eyeko pencil from MAC and just lining my lower lash line. I am putting the shadows on my lower lash line. So obviously the 3 shadows I used in my crease, I'm applying to the lower lash line. I did notice that I was getting some fallout, so it was a little frustrating at first, but it's okay. That's an easy fix. I just added some of that MAC Set Powder underneath my eye, and that essentially caught all of the eyeshadow that was falling out. And once I was done, I just took a brush and brushed it all away. I'm contouring my face with my definitive powder. You guys have seen me use this in my previous videos. So I'm applying that just below the highest points of my cheekbones, on my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and I did apply it to my jawline as well. And I'm just cutting under that contour because I wanted this look to be a little more defined. And then I'm applying my double up lashes. While I applied my lashes, I did let that powder sit, and now I'm just using my Studio Fix powder in NW43 and NC50 to wipe that powder away. I feel like I could have used my NC46 Studio Fix powder, to be honest, because I think I used a little too much of the NC50 and I didn't mix it as good as I could with the NW43, but I mean, I know for next time. And because of that, I did use a lot of the Fix Plus just to get some of that powdery look away. So now I'm highlighting the inner points of my eye with my highlighter. I just realized that I didn't highlight, but I will come back to that later. I'm just going to apply some blush first, which is my Blunt Blush and my Raisin Blush. I pretty much mixed the two together and I applied my blush. And you guys know how I apply my blush. I start from my hairline and I go towards my cheeks. I'm preparing my lips with my MAC Prep and Prime. I feel like I can't talk today. And then I'm lining my lips with Cork. I'm pretty sure this is my cousin's lip liner. Like, I've bought this lip liner so many times and it's always lost or stolen. I don't even know. And I applied Yash lipstick to my lips. I felt like this was a little too donut looking on my lips, so I did put Spite over top of it. And this is when I realized that I didn't actually highlight. So I went in with my highlighter, glow with it, and I just put that on the tops of my cheeks, and then I came back to my lips. I just added a cream sheen lip gloss. It's a real pink color. I don't know the name right now, but I will put it in the description box below for you guys. And that completed my look. So I love this look. I thought it was so pretty. I wasn't going anywhere this day. I was just on fleek because, you know, I was filming. But if you love my videos, if you liked what you see, please don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.